You are worried and distracted by many things, but there is need of only one thing. Now, for many preachers, their opening gambit whenever Mary and Martha show up in the Sunday readings is to ask everyone in the congregation to decide whether they are a Mary or a Martha. How many of you have heard that sermon? If you'd been paying attention, it would be just about every one of you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut to the chase and eliminate the mystery. Every single one of us is a Martha. Every single one. We are all worried and distracted by many things, and rarely, very rarely, do we stop to consider if in fact they are the most important things. And the more successful we are, the more likely that we are to forget to step back and take a serious look at what we are doing. Is the main thing in our life really the main thing? That's what made the answers of the young 29-year-old man who earned $88 million last year, gave at a press conference this week, so astounding. What he said made the room go quiet. And in case you haven't figured out who that young man is, his name is Scottie Scheffler. And for more than 2 years, he has been the world's #1 golfer. The news conference was in Northern Ireland, where the major golfers in the world have gathered to play in the Open Championship, the oldest and most prestigious of all the golf tournaments in the world. And despite his incredible successes playing golf, this is a tournament that Scottie Scheffler has never won. And as a result, he was asked that most inane of sports reporters' questions. Well, actually, it's the second most inane question. The most inane question sports reporters ask is, how does it feel after playing so well to come in second? Okay. The second most inane question is the one that Scottie Scheffler was asked a variation of. What would it mean to you to win this tournament? It's a pretty inane question. Who knows what it's going to mean until after it happens? But his response was thoughtful, and it was pitch perfect for all of us Marthas who are so distracted. And I'm going to quote him at length. I don't usually do that in sermons, but he said it way better than I ever could, so why not use his words? Here's how he responded. You know, it feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that euphoric feeling. To win the Byron Nelson Championship at home in Texas, I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have the opportunity to win that tournament. And you win it. You get to celebrate, hug my family. My sisters are there. It's such an amazing moment. And it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. What's the point? Why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something I wrestle with on a daily basis. Showing up at the Masters every year, it's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open? To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not out here to inspire someone to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it is not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest places in your heart. Every day when I wake up early to go out and do the work, my wife thanks me for going out and working so hard. And every day when I get home, I thank her, or I try to thank her, for taking care of our son. That's why I talk about family being my priority, because it really is. I'm blessed to be able to come out here and play golf. But if golf ever started affecting my home life, or if it ever affected the relationship I have with my wife and my son, that's going to be the last day that I come out here to play for a living. When he finished, the room was silent. They hadn't expected that, and they didn't know what to say. And so they went out and they wrote two kinds of articles. One, Scotty Scheffler is burned out and bored with golf, and he might even retire by the time he's 30. And one that said, this young man taught us all a lesson today. And we need to ask the question, is the main thing in our life really, truly the main thing? What Scheffler is describing is something called the arrival fallacy. And I bet everybody in here has dealt with it at least once in their life. If I can just get this new client, if I can just get this article published, if I can get the promotion, if I can make enough to buy a house in that neighborhood, if my kids just get into one of these universities, if I can just drive that kind of car, if I can just make it through the next 6 months, then I will be happy. So many of us spend our lives waiting to arrive somewhere so that we can be happy. We don't pay much attention to where we are right now. We're waiting for that day when it will all happen for us. And then when we get there, we're happy for a minute or 3. But then someone wants to know, well, what are you going to do next? Or maybe, what's for dinner? I've seen Scotty Scheffler celebrate a victory. Winning can make him really happy. But what is most incredible about him, what makes him so fascinating to watch, is his calm and focus while he is playing. He is very rarely rattled while he's playing a round of golf. And I suspect that his calm has a few roots. One of those roots is that he has worked hard, unimaginably hard, to be good at what he does. And he goes out to play the best golf he can play every time he takes the course. One of the other roots is that he knows that happiness does not depend on winning. There's something deeper than winning tournaments and making extraordinary amounts of money in his life that gives it meaning. And when you can understand that, when that can be really truly the way you live, instead of being distracted by things that aren't the main thing, then winning is a lot of fun. But it is not everything. It's amazing that at 29, Scheffler has already figured this out. Many people live their entire lives waiting to arrive at happiness and never sure why. After all their accomplishments, they feel at the end of life like, is that really all there was? Now there's another route. Scheffler and his wife are devout Christians. They attend their church when he is home. They participate in its ministries. They open their homes so that people can come in groups to meet there. And when he is on the road, he is a part of a regular Bible study. He doesn't talk much about his faith, but I'm pretty sure that one of the roots of his calm is the belief that his amazing talent is a gift from God, and using that talent to the very best of his ability is a way of honoring both the gift and the giver. Now, I suspect that somewhere in his Bible study, Scotty Scheffler has learned the lesson of the story of Mary and Martha, and it is reflected in his commitment to his faith. Despite what we are inclined to believe when we read this story, and sometimes I think we believe this because we feel just a little bit guilty, Jesus does not scold Martha. He just points out that her distraction has kept her from noticing that the Lord, the Messiah, the source of all happiness and contentment, is sitting in her front parlor. He's in your living room too, sitting right there on the sofa with the dog or the cat and the kids. He's in your living room, waiting for you to come and to know him. To know him and to be grounded in the wholeness and the healing that he brings. To have the truly valuable things in your life put into perspective and into their proper order. None of that has to wait until your next project is finished or your next accomplishment is notched into whatever you use to keep score of your accomplishments. It only takes paying attention to him and to what he has to say to you. Happiness, contentment, calm, and rest. It's sitting right there, waiting for you. It is what the Messiah wants to give to you. And it is available to you every single moment of every single day. Is the main thing in your life really the main thing?
Thanks for listening. If you're interested in hearing our sermons in real time, you can check us out at our website, www.goodshepherdbrentwood.org, or attend online during our 10:15 Sunday live stream on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Good Shepherd Brentwood. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe you'd like to meet with one of our clergy, you can email us at office@goodshepherdbrentwood.org. Or if you're interested in visiting in person or have questions about our programs and services, you can text 615-637-3738, where you'll be contacted by our staff. We'd love to meet you.